Hi there, this is Jeremy. Today I'm going to show you how to use Read and Write for Chrome. It's a really great extension for your Chrome browser for the internet that gives students the ability to read and write information using their voice. There's a lot of other really cool metacognitive tools that they'll really benefit from using. So without further ado, I'll just show you first of all where to find it if you don't have it already installed on your computer. You'll just have to type in Read and Write for Chrome, and it's in the Chrome store here. And so all you'll have to do is to add it to your toolbar. And after you've added it, you'll notice that in the corner of the screen here I have a puzzle piece that will show up on pages that you can use Read and Write for Google in. So this is the toolbar that pops up when you click on here, and there's a variety of different functions you can use. The first one is predicting text. So if I opened up a new document, for example, and here's my predictive text, it's function. Already it's giving me a bunch of options that I can start with. If I hover over a word, it will say it out loud for me. And so I can just start typing. So the question, perhaps the question isn't, so maybe the words of the question isn't what is the word I'm looking for, so I can start typing what. Okay, there it is. Okay, so predictive text works really, really well. Another thing that I can do is I can use a dictionary. So if I am reading an article here and I don't know, for example, what creativity means, I can select creativity, I can come up to my dictionary, and it will give me a quick way of understanding what it is. If I can't read these words as well, what I can do is I can select these words, and and you heard it there, I can play it out loud. I also have a picture dictionary. So if I want to look for mountain, let's say mountain for example, hit my picture dictionary and it'll give me examples of what that word means. So that can be really helpful as well for students. The biggest function, I think, the biggest functionality here is being able to listen to what you're reading, because often that's the problem that students have. So I select my text.
The idea for this theme originated with the concept of artists painting self-portraits.
Now let's say the task is I want to highlight. Let's say the task is I'd like to highlight words that I don't recognize. So that sentence had the word originated and I might not know what that means. What I can do is select it and I can assign it a color. So let's say blue is going to be words that I want to look up later. After I've chosen a few words, like let's say I want to look up the word unique as well. So I can select these words, highlight them blue. Afterwards, what I can do is do some really neat things here. If I want to collect my highlights, I can select this and it will collect the colors that I want. And it'll open up a new page in your Google Docs file with those words that I can work on later on. Another thing that I can do is with those highlighted words, I can hit vocabulary. This one takes a little bit longer. So it will come up with the words that I found. It will give me definitions, it will give me a space to put notes, and it will give me drawings if there are drawings specific to those words. So very helpful for students to come up with vocabulary lists or to later on pull those words up in their daily 5-word work. Other functionality that we have here is we have a translate function. So if students want to translate from French to English or English to Spanish or French to Spanish, they have that ability. I should mention too that Read and Write for Google Chrome works for French, English, and Spanish very well. So again, this trumps Kurzweil in that it can do a better job of that. Another function my students love is simplify. So if they are having a hard time reading all this text and they're trying to find the main ideas, they can click on this button. Okay, so here is what it looks like. Often what my students will do when they find an article is they'll simplify it right off the bat, and then they have this information here. And it's really quite neat. If I want to make it easier to understand, I can start simplifying it, and you can see how simplified it actually gets. There are some confusing things at times. If there are photos in here, the photos may, like captions may be thrown in here and there, but overall it's really nice. So once students have done this, then they can listen to the text.
Contrast. Google wanted to take the idea of a self-portrait and expand it, and have kids not just draw themselves but also put themselves into the context of what makes them special and unique.
So that's kind of an overview of Google Chrome. The pros for using this program is that it's free. If you're an educator, you get access to all these different buttons here, so be sure to check that out. Also, it's very intuitive. All the students in my class that struggled using Kurzweil, struggled finding files to open with Kurzweil, are able to access things much easier now. Also, another pro is that you can use it with Google Classroom and Google Drive, which is great. With Kurzweil, you weren't able to do that before as well. So again, if you have any questions or concerns or whatever have you, just give me a shout, and I hope that this was helpful for you. Take care.